Critical hit Punch All Nazis takes place in the early days of World War II and combines high adventure with cosmic horror. All dates, locations, and historical events are thrown out the window in order to create a fun story, so don't put too much thought into historical inaccuracies. All accents are done poorly, but with love, and no disrespect is intended. The sound of hundreds of ghouls running over the hills towards you, Blisco, is thunderous, and you see a little dust cloud rising up. The ghouls all crest the top of the hill and come running at you and surround you on all sides. You and Dilbert are there, surrounded by ghouls. Mr. Blisco, I'm kind of scared.
Doing my best to keep myself between the ghouls and Dilbert, but if it's on all sides, it's like me kind of shuffling around him in a circle.
Yeah, they have encircled you.
Brother, you have brought us a meal. Thank you.
No.
What do you mean, no?
We wanted to ask you some questions, and he got a little ahead of himself.
Just some questions. No need to eat me or Mr. Blisco. That's how it is. I'm actually looking for someone else. Go ahead, Mr. Blisco, ask your questions. And he kind of nudges you forward towards the largest of the ghouls.
Well, speak.
Are you able to leave the Dreamlands?
No, as we've said before, we cannot leave unless we are sent by...
And they all point up towards the big palace atop the mountains.
Or if we were to escape through a gateway. Oh, look, a gateway.
And a couple of them start moving towards the gateway, and the gateway closes. The soft spot closes.
Oh, drat. Well, at least we have a meal or two.
You see they're all like licking their lips, and their eyes are all glowing. They all are starting to creep closer and closer to you guys.
Just think of base, Dilbert.
Oh yeah, Dilbert just blinks out.
Oh, brother, we have sensed your transformation for a very long time, and yet you have failed to come over and join us fully. We might be offered to offer other assistance if only you would fully commit to being us.
I'm not too keen on eating other people, though.
But they taste so good, especially when they're fresh and young.
Yeah. What other assistance would you be able to do?
We might be able to guide you to places, but we can only do that when we are all one.
And the only other way for you to travel is just glance at the castle?
Yes. He or other powerful wizards would have to send us to our destination.
Powerful wizards, you say?
Yes.
What brings you back to the Dreamlands?
Oh, I have never left. It's the others of our kind who have been sent forth, and they don't come
returned?
Back. No. I had a cousin once who said he was going on a mission to a place called Paris. And I've never heard of him since. He said he would write, but no one has ever heard from him. I ask every time, but no, nothing.
Yeah, I also had a friend that went over to this place called Ingeland. And I've never heard back from him either.
Yes, it's almost like They send us on places that they know we will never come back from, and yet we keep doing it. Weird.
Why do you keep doing it?
It's probably because now that we've fully transformed, we have no souls. We have no free will, except here in the Dreamlands.
I see. Well, let me think about this.
Yes, and they're all starting to lick their lips and getting closer.
Uh,
Yeah, it's been a while
and
since we've
I
had
will,
food. And then suddenly you hear this gunshot, this rifle fire, and echoing across the hills. And there's a ghoul that comes running up. It is him! It is him! Oh, flee! Flee! He's come to kill us all! And the ghouls are like, no, not him. And they start to run and scatter. The one that you've been talking to, though, stops and says, brother, think about joining us. It would be so much fun to have you here. We could have so many adventures together. We could see the faraway lands. We could climb the high mountains.
We'll talk again.
Yes, if you need me, just come back to this spot.
Okay.
And he just runs off and looks back over his shoulder in terror at whatever was enough to scare all these hundreds of ghouls away from you. And coming up over a hill is a man in a very nice, like, English country suit, like tweed and wool. He's got a little, like a cap, a hunting cap on, and he's carrying a rifle. He's got, very British looking. He's, maybe even New English looking type, blonde hair, and he's smoking a pipe, and he crests the hill. Well, I say, must have chased those ghouls away. I was hoping to take a few more out before they cause their next problem here in the Dreamlands. Oh, hello. Who are you?
Blisco, sir.
Ah, Blisco. And he stops and thinks, I've never heard of you.
That's fair. I've not made a particularly big name for myself outside of my specific circle.
Well, you must be somebody because you've made it here to the Dreamlands, something that took me a very long time to do.
And you are?
Ah, Randolph Cotter, and he extends his hand to shake your hand.
Sure.
Yes. I'm from New England.
Ah, I'm from Nebraska.
Oh, terrible place. Or so I hear.
It has its charms.
Yes. I just hear is pretty bad, but the flat lands and the open skies just kind of creep me out.
Ah. Aren't we in a big flat plain?
Yeah, it's a rolling plain, but there's mountains around, so it's not like you can see forever.
I see. How long have you been here?
Oh, time is so different here in the Dreamlands. I feel like I've only been here a month, but I ran into a little man not too long ago who said that it's been over a decade since anyone has last seen me. Said something about my niece looking for me. That could be it could be true, it could be false. He was in such a hurry to find somebody called Bug Eater.
That's me. You want my friend Dilbert.
Yes, Dilbert was his name. Yes. A nice little chap, but he seemed to be in such a hurry. I told him that he should come to Ulthar with me.
Got here by mistake.
Really now? It seemed like he had the key, so I doubt it was a mistake.
The first couple of times, he was studying the key because he didn't know what it did.
I see.
Yeah, you mean this key?
Oh, and he grabs it from you and he's like, I haven't seen this in a long time. I've had to hide this. There are
several, shall we say, social organizations that have their mind set on getting their hands on this key so that they could come into the Dreamlands and exploit it for its
Yes.
interesting properties.
And part of a group that's trying to stop some of them.
Oh, okay.
I need that back, and I'll grab it back from him, both hands. He's like,
Why don't you do a why don't we do a hand-to-hand combat? So roll me an agility plus fighting.
I'm going
You
to
have
use a
one
fortune
moment.
on this.
Okay.
Like, no,
I will-
this is way too
I will
important
use
for me to lose.
I will use 2 threats.
Well, it's
Actually,
2 successes.
it's not a D2, it's just whoever gets the most on that. So, okay, so you had 2 successes, I have 3 successes. He is able to hold on to the key. No. This was originally mine. I found it when I was a young child.
Just took it from me.
Yes.
Give it back.
No, that is not going to happen. And he taps it into his pocket. Now, what can I do for you? Why are you here? Are you planning to go to the moon?
No. I think my next step was Germany.
Oh, Germany. Well, that is definitely a long way from here. Oh, you would have to go across the oceans. You would have to go into the high mountains. You would have to definitely go through Carcosa. Whoa, that is not a place anyone should go through. And of course, along the way, you're going to meet all sorts of horrible creatures, moon beasts, ghouls that I've been trying to hunt down in my spare time. And then he gets very quiet and he leans in and points up to the sky. Of course, him as well. So, would you like to accompany me to Ulva?
How about you accompany me back to
Oh
England?
no, I
and
can't possibly
we
do
can-
that. I am having too much fun here.
How are you getting more ammo?
Oh, I go to the great cities. I could go to Salafias. I could go to Hypnos. I could go to Ulthar. I could go to Sarnath. All sorts of supplies can be found everywhere.
How far is this city?
Oh, only about a 3-day walk.
Do you not know much about traversing the Dreamlands?
Oh, I do, but if you think about the places you want to go, you run the risk of ending up in locations you may not want to end up in or through, if that makes sense. Like
The first part makes
one time
sense.
I tried to think about Sarnath and wound up at the bottom of a hill in a cave full of ghouls. And I don't want that to happen ever again. So I'd rather walk. Plus the air is good for you. Now, I must tell you, and he begins to turn and walk off. Doesn't matter which direction. He picks a direction and starts walking. I must tell you that when we get to Ulfa, there are some rules that you should probably follow. You may not kill a cat there, and the cats that do live there know if you have done any harm to cats. So, do be careful.
Wait just a moment then.
Yes.
We didn't do anything to Doc's cat, right?
Let it loose in the countryside.
Yeah. We didn't
Okay.
hurt it.
Okay.
I mean, you didn't hurt it.
Blisco didn't do anything to that cat.
Exactly.
I need to get back with my company.
Oh, well, that's a pity. It's been a while since I've seen another person from the Earth plane.
I would appreciate if you came with me, and then we'd get you back here post haste.
No, I can't. I've got a lovely princess to meet very soon. And he continues to walk. Oh, watch out for the man-eating spiders.
I already took care of those.
Oh, are you sure? There's many more. And he keeps walking.
I'm gonna pull out my gun and ask him to stop.
No, I'm sorry. I must be gone. And then he's like, I guess you have forced my hand. And he blinks out and disappears.
All right. I'm thinking about base. Probably
Bloop.
specifically Dutch.
Bloop. Oh, you're thinking specifically about Dutch?
I need to report things went wrong.
Okay, but you probably ought to think of a specific location. If you think about Dutch, you might apparate inside of Dutch.
That's fair. He was in the wherever the last I knew he was at.
Okay, library. Boom. You pop open in the middle of the library in section M. Everyone is momentarily startled by your appearance. Don't worry, it's just Mr. Blisco. I told you he'd probably be along right behind me, providing that he didn't get eaten by the ghouls. Welcome back, Mr. Blisco. Did you get the ghouls to help you out?
No. We have bigger problems.
Oh?
Come on. I'm going to go find... Is Dutch in here?
I don't know, Dutch, if you wandered back in, it's been probably about 2 hours.
No. Or yes, I have. I probably didn't leave the library.
Oh, okay. All right, then there's Dutch sitting right there in a cozy, overstuffed chair.
Yeah,
reading
I'm
a
looking
book.
looking over some paperwork.
Dutch,
Hey, man.
we
You
have a
okay?
problem.
Oh, what's happening?
Follow me. Go to somewhere where there's not extra people.
Okay.
You go and find a nice secluded spot.
I've lost the key.
You lost the key to the Dreamlands?
Yes, I'll regale him with what happened.
Like, before you start, Dutch will be like, did you lose it to a Nazi?
No.
Okay.
Probably.
Could be worse.
Oh no, Randolph Carter is not a Nazi.
Yeah. Blisco assumes he is not, but also is like, probably not.
Okay.
It was Randolph Carter.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense that you'd run into him there.
He took it and linked away.
Okay. Well, the good news is now we don't have to worry about getting out some way. Because now we need to worry about how to get in, and then presumably we can go back out the same way. So let's go back in and figure this out.
Where were you guys at?
A vestibule.
Okay.
It's like you leave the library,
you...
walk down the hall, and there's like a little vestibule with like a little statue.
Was it L-shaped vestibule?
Yes.
Okay. So you come out of the L-shaped vestibule, and you hear all of a sudden just all of this commotion as people are running about, and you hear hoops and hollers and lots of applause coming from outside.
All right, let's go check what that is.
You go outside, and ever since you have been here at Section M, you have seen this giant, like, stone and metal ring kind of in the middle of the land with all these wires and things running off of them with switches and controls. And this thing is lit up, like it's glowing and popping and sparks are flying off. But inside the circle is like this glowing blue mist. And you see people tossing things through. And then a minute and a half later, it comes out the other side. And everybody is like laughing and clapping. We've done it. We've done it. Ha ha. Tell the brigadier. And then the thing shuts down. Boom, 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 boom. And then a moment later, like everybody is coming out of the manor house. Even Towton, Sally. I'm going to guess that Doc and Valentino are coming out too, because this is a pretty big commotion. One of the guys runs up to the brigadier. Sir, the transporter device is now active. Oh, that's brilliant, brilliant. I knew you could do it. What was the secret? What was the thing that was holding you back? And he goes, we used our last supply of the Blower crystals.
Ah, very good. So Blauer crystal technology. I knew the Black Sun and the Noct Wolf were probably doing something similar, and that's why they were mining it more than just weapons. A transportation device, and he's rubbing his hands together. Excellent, excellent. This may be a wonderful way for us to lead attacks in deep into Nazi territory.
So, how stable is this?
That's the problem. It's only stable for 20, 30 seconds at a time, and then it kind of loses coherence and shuts down. Almost like it's losing its lock on, I don't know, reality or the spatial spot that we are inhabiting. I was not a quantum physics man. I did not listen to that. I thought what Einstein and the others were talking about was rubbish, but there may be something to that. I don't know.
Tell me you're not the project lead.
Oh, I am.
Fantastic.
I'm Lester.
Oh, okay, you're doing a great job, Lester.
Oh, thank you. This is the first major. We've been working on this for years. This is our first major breakthrough.
Okay.
We're gonna fire it back up in a minute and see if we can transport something over to another site across campus.
Okay. Yeah, you guys
How
do
you,
that.
Determine where it comes out.
Oh, and he walks you over to the control panel. He's like, "Look, it's latitude, longitude, and time."
Did you go backwards in time?
Oh, no. We have to account for the spin of the Earth in this. Otherwise, you would wind up in outer space. And some of the other scientists chuckle. Yeah, outer space. That wouldn't be good.
Relative dimension. Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I will let you fine-tune that. We may be needing that.
Oh, really? So soon? And he looks at the Brigadier, and the Brigadier's like, looks at the group of you and kind of shrugs his shoulder. I suppose you better hurry. Yes, sir. Carry on, Lester. Well, boys, what are you thinking? And he kind of puts his arm around you, Valentino, and starts to lead you all back inside.
Well, we have a few thoughts. I think largely main plan was just kind of go with a contingent of volunteers and make a ruckus. If we think that perhaps they might be needing me for the ritual, we could perhaps use me as some kind of leverage in order to try to, free the hostages and.
I mean, that certainly is, but you are kind of a valuable asset.
Yeah.
It's a shame to lose you. How would how are you going to do this?
Oh, I figure I could just hold on to a grenade and tell them, if they don't acquiesce to our demands, I'll just, have the pin pulled and let go of the handle. And
nasty business, that.
Yeah, hoping it don't come to that. But I mean, if we want to get to Carcosa, and I think we're gonna have to do the ritual anyways. Maybe we could start the ritual, then. Hopefully have our forces who we hope to have hidden away somewhere attack before it completes, and then we could go through without the Nazis following and see if we can't get rid of the key from there.
Well,
yes.
We've run into a bit of a wrinkle with that plan. We don't have the key to the Dreamlands anymore.
You've lost the key to the Dreamlands?
Yep.
What happened with the key?
The key went back to its previous owner.
Oh, okay. Do we need to go get that back then?
We have 20 hours to get back to Germany to do this exchange.
The Brigadier turns to Lester and says, "Lester, I would be working on that very quickly." Yes, sir.
I mean, we could pop over there, get the hostages, then maybe cause some trouble, steal a plane or something, and try to get out of there with hostages.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to take a team, now that we don't have the key, it seems like it would be a lot easier to do this, to send 4 or 6 people in and then try to extract 6 or 8 people out.
You wouldn't want to just use this, what do they call it? A teleportation device and just take a group with you.
Well, if we take a group with us, like, can they just open it again after a certain amount of time?
Lester, and Lester comes back over. Yes, sir. How long before you can start it up between transportations? Well, it just depends on how much Blower crystal we have. We've only got about 2 more loads left, and it's a little retinkering here, resoldering here, a couple more wires that we'd have to patch up. I would estimate it's probably about an hour or 2 between portal openings.
And how many portal openings do we have?
Maybe 2, 3 if we stretch the Blower crystals.
Okay. Yeah, I guess in that case we can open it, go through with a small army, try to free the hostages, get the ring if they have it there, and the flute, and then come back to presumably the same spot and jump back through when the portal opens.
You are going to be at the site. If we open up the portal to Carcosa through the ritual, we could go and destroy the Key of Solomon.
Do we not need the silver key for that?
No, the key isn't one of the relics that we need.
Oh, that's just a bonus. Okay.
We don't. The thing is like, we don't know if they are going to have the ring and the flute on site. Like, we assume that they do because they presumably want to be ready to go once we give them all the items. So that's 1. 2, I don't know that I want to take my parents through Carcosa. It seems, how do I want to put this? To save them from the Nazis and then subject them to a trip through the Outer Realms seems... I mean, I guess it's certain death with the Nazis, but still, that seems like it would be pretty harmful to them.
I mean, they have aligned themselves with the Nazis.
I'll just stare at the
Brigadier.
At the Brigadier, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. Blood is thicker than water, they say. Well,
did you say that?
Yes, they do. And he kind of looks at Towton and Sally, and they kind of look back, and you can all see Sally cock her eyebrow up a little bit and shake her head. Well, in any case, our suggestion is for you to try to do the ritual, get into Carcosa, and either get the scroll or the key and bring it to us, or destroy it there. I think that we should try to bring it back, because if we had the power, then we could defeat the Nazis lickety-split, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sally pipes up, I am going to be in the camp of you should destroy it. It is a very powerful weapon that in anyone's hands, regardless of their intentions, could bring death to this entire planet. And Towton just kind of looks around as like, yes, well, something to think about. Time for tea. And he turns on his heels and walks off.
Let's then, I mean, again, this is all completely moot if they don't have one of the items there, right? If either the ring or the flute or both are not there, then, and we are planning to go to Carcosa, we're stuck there. We need all of the items.
Yes. I would assume that because they're bringing you to the place where the portal entryway to Carcosa is, that they would have those other items there.
They could have them nearby instead. Not immediately on site, but So we've bested them more than they've bested us in collecting these things, right?
Yeah.
They know that we're capable, and they may be cautious enough not to have things immediately available for us to obtain.
Well, I would say that you're all obviously walking into a trap. I mean, it's pretty clear there. I mean, they wouldn't have you bring all of the items with you if they weren't planning on either opening the portal right away or killing you and then opening the portal right away.
I don't think that's true, but let's operate like it is. I mean, maybe we're at the point of hoping, right?
Yeah.
It's like
Well, we do need hope in these dark hours.
Yeah, we hope the Nazis are acting in a particular way. So let's plan on that. Yeah, let's gear up the transporter to get us as close as possible.
Okay.
We'll
But
take
by this time, Anton and Pontus have come out of their lab and are talking to the scientists over on the transporter circle or whatever we're calling it, a gateway.
Yeah. So let's travel as close as possible. We'll bring some armed forces. How big is the ring?
Oh, you could drive a car through this.
Then that's definitely what we're doing.
Okay.
I was about to suggest that Blisco find something to drive when we're there, but if we can actually drive a car, then that actually makes us a lot more dangerous. We'll get in, like Valentino and I will go in. They're expecting me because that's my parents. They're expecting Valentino because he's the chosen one. We'll threaten them and see if we can basically buy some time, figure out where the hostages are, figure out if they have the items, and whip up a plan in the process. Then everybody can jump in. We'll have a nice, clean firefight, and the one who bleeds the least can probably try and open the way to Carcosa.
Okay. And so, arming up sequence, a bunch of crash zooms as you guys are putting on bandanas and strapping grenades to your chests and armoring up. And you guys come back a little while later, and sure enough, there is a 2 Jeeps, and there are Badger's Commandos. There are 10 of them. And Badger comes up to you and says, pardon me, sir, might I have a word with you, please?
Who's he talking to?
To you.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I've been on many missions, covert, undercover. That's how we acquired the Flower Crystal Mine in North Africa. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to propose an idea, if you would like to listen, that you proceed in the first car, and some of us will proceed in the second car, and we'll have 4 or 5 of our men on foot. And the minute that we get through, we will ascertain our location, and then we will scout out a location close enough to this Arbogast ammunition factory.
Mm-hmm.
Relation?
Yeah.
And he just gives you a long stare count, like this is the first time he's ever heard any of this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Can I? Where are you? Sorry. Where are you guys headquartered? Are you here on the grounds?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Is a brigadier nearby or his secretary?
Yeah, the brigadier's there too. Yeah. This is like you guys are getting ready to go through the portal. Sure. Yes.
Hey, brigadier.
Yes, sir.
Assuming that we survive this and there's future missions, we should probably have Badger here or whoever's in charge in the meetings, since he knows his troops the best.
Oh, yes. We send him off and tell him what the mission is, and he and his boys know how to take care of everything very well. They're a crack team. You can dump them into any situation. They're able to improvise and come out on top every time.
I mean,
They're a is the king alive? Yeah. They're a testament to the king's army.
right. I'm just saying we don't always know their capabilities. So having them in the meetings, just one of them. We just need one of them. It doesn't have to be Badger. It can be like the one of his guys who wears glasses.
Yes, we'll take that into advisement. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Okay. Yes. Sorry that you hadn't been informed about this, but
I mean,
that is the plan.
We just got back from Scandinavia.
Okay. So yes. That is the plan. It is relation. They are actually holding my family hostage.
Ah.
So,
okay. Well,
yeah.
Then I say that we split up and we scout out the area and see if we can find other entrances into this factory and come in, hopefully surround any of these ne'er-do-wells and then get out.
Yep, sounds great.
Excellent. Well, I think we're ready. And there's a group of like the ruggedest men ever. These guys have seen some stuff. They're armed with rifles and, handguns and knives and other things.
I mean, this is like pretty straight up Howling Commandos territory, right? Like one of them has like a bowler hat, the other one has like a beret.
So they are all wearing like a dark olive green sweaters with the leather shoulders, and they have black khaki pants with combat boots. And yeah, they're all wearing a variety of different things, commando berets, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
And some of them have mustaches, some of them have big gnarly scars on their faces. Couple of them, you've met them, most of them before, not all of them, but you've met them piecemeal, both in Paris and on the grounds. Anytime that you've interacted with soldiers, probably part of Badger's commandos.
Okay, so we'll do that. We'll go in, have them scout out the area, then we'll proceed with our Kakamemi plan. And hope for the best, and possibly jump into Carcosa right then and there, unless the situation changes drastically, which it very well could. I feel like 10 minutes ago we were gonna go into the Dreamlands, and now we've got this big what do you call this? Some sort of gate.
Yes.
Some sort of sky astral gate.
Yes, I would say it's an Azure gate.
There you go.
Yes.
So yes, expect the plan to change.
Okay, so everybody is lined up. Pontus and Antoine are arguing with the Lester guy, and you can overhear them shouting, we have to get them as close to the factory as we can. And Lester is saying something about there's something preventing us from locking into the exact coordinates of the ammunition plant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'll kind of walk over. Yeah, maybe if we actually have a little distance, that could be all right. It gives us opportunity to hide some of our forces.
And Lester's like, that's what I've been trying to tell these two. Oh, I'm so nervous about this. I want you in and out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, understandable. This might be a bit of an excursion, though. Well, just I count on you to do your best and get us so that we can get out of this.
Yes, hurry back. And he gives you a big, big hug.
Yeah, clap him on the back. And
all right, so everybody gets in line. You guys are all in the first Jeep, right?
How many people does a Jeep sit?
Like 4 or 5.
Okay. Do we have to declare what all we're taking?
I'm just going to assume that you guys have all of your rifles and handguns.
Yep. And like another go round of ammunition?
Yeah.
Okay.
How many grenades could we take with us?
You can each take 2 grenades each.
Okay.
Let's take some rations as well. We don't know how long the...
Yeah, that'll be just
Trip.
part of your regular kit.
Yeah.
So in your Jeep is already loaded up the big giant 4x3 stone tablet that is the altar for this spell. All the other items are equipped in there. There's an orb. There's the mask that I guess you still have, Valentino. There's the dagger. Everything that you need, save for the flute and the ring, are all there. And you guys can climb into the Jeep if you like. Everybody on campus, on the estate, has gathered to watch this.
The dagger has a sheath, right?
Yes.
Okay, I am going to take the dagger with me. Like, I'll have it on my person.
Okay.
So we maybe this might be a discussion for once we're through, but have someone back, or someone hold back one of the artifacts until we get the hostages, and then we can.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you've only got so many times to open up the portal.
No, he means back after we've gone through. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna need everybody's gonna jump in and fight. So I guess we could have one person. If it just immediately goes south, we can have one person who stays back and holds on to something. Yeah. But we probably need this card to move the tablet anyway. So.
Yeah, good point.
Okay. One last thing before we get through, and I'll just gather up Blisco, Doc, and Valentino. Okay. Gentlemen, we're about to go through something really dangerous, probably followed by something even more dangerous. We've been in a lot of dangerous situations, but it's been a great pleasure to have you along for all of those adventures. This trip is almost certainly going to go wrong. And he pulls out $1 and says, I've got 5 minutes. I'm saying 5 minutes and something's going to go wrong.
I think we could clear 5. Put me up for 10.
All right, let's go.
How close are we gonna get? I'm gonna give it 20.
Okay.
You know what? I'll go for the long shot. Put me down for 30.
All right, Valentino with the confidence.
I'm just banking on us not being close enough for everything to go sideways right away.
Yeah, like it's going to take us 20 minutes to get there, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's kind of was my rationale too.
All right, yeah, I like the strategy.
Who's in control of how long it takes us to get there?
Oh shoot, we've been playing, fellas.
I guess so. All right, well, let's get going then.
All right, so Lester is giving the signal. He comes up and he goes, we can get you about 2 blocks away from the factory, but after that, there seems to be some kind of something preventing us from locking in closer with our instruments. That's about as close as we can get. He shows you on a map that there's it's a little aerial shot of the area, and you can see the Arbogast factory there. And sure enough, about 2 or 3 blocks down, he's put an X as kind of the entry point.
All right.
Okay. And suddenly he signals, and the men at the controls start flipping switches, and there are these lights all the way around this ring, and they start flashing one after another, and they start getting faster and faster and faster. And then there's sparks that are flying off in all directions. And then this big blue glow just kind of whirlpool opens, contained into this ring. And he goes, I would hurry. I don't know how much longer we will be able to keep it open.
Hit it, Blisco.
And you hear one of the guy goes 90%. And then by the time you say hit it, Blisco, they're like, we're at 80%.
I hit the gas before he gets to Blisco.
Give me one of your driving things.
Oh
What are we
boy.
looking at? A coordination and vehicles. D2.
4 successes.
Wow.
All right.
Whee!
Yeah, so you floor it, and you guys just hit the ramp, and you sail through. And as you sail through, you are all incredibly cold. Like, you feel like you have fallen into a frozen lake of water as you enter the portal. And as you enter, you see lightning flashes, you see swirling energy things all around you. It looks like there's something swimming towards you off in the distance. And then, boom, you are hitting the pavement of a street in Calv, Germany. A moment later, you hear another Jeep come through right behind you. And then one man starts to emerge, and then you hear a pop, 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 pop sound, and the portal closes, and the man's arm falls onto the pavement. The portal is closed. There are 2 Jeeps, you guys with all of the artifacts, and then another Jeep with Badger and 3 of his commandos. And the minute he sees everything that's happened, he slams onto his brakes, and he comes running up, and he's kind of rubbing himself. You can see there's like a frost has kind of covered all of you.
Yeah.
Having gone through this. And he's like, are you boys okay?
Yeah, I think we're all good.
I'll presumably I'm in the passenger seat, so I'll pat Blisco on the shoulder. We'll square up later, gents.
And he kind of looks at you as, well, that went better than I thought it would.
Yeah. Well,
He
except
he
we
goes,
didn't get your foot soldiers.
well, they did know the risks. I'm hoping that was only one that we lost and not all of them in that weird, I don't know what that was. I've seen some weird things, gentlemen, but that was the strangest.
Yeah. Well, it was really cold. Doc lost his voice just through that little bit.
Yeah. And then he looks down and he goes, is that the factory? And sure enough, you all look down and there's this brick factory, square brick building. You know, it looks just like a factory, you know, factory windows, factory doors. On top, though, is this big glowing neon sign that kind of lights up the area, even in daylight, that says Arbogast Munitions. And it's like almost gaudy in its design. And you know, you know that this is your typical dad.
Yeah. Oh, Dad, somebody's like, neon is the future, and he just goes crazy with it.
All right. And then he goes, okay, we're going to go get in position. And he waves his hand in the air and circles it, and the 3 men exit the Jeep, and they just like disappear down alleys.
Okay. We'll wait for some sort of chirp that they're in place.
Oh, I don't know. I think they're waiting for you.
Wow.
For us to do what?
To do whatever that they need to do to presumably rescue you, help you, whatever.
Oh, okay. I thought they were going, like, the plan was for them to scout first.
Oh, no. I think that they are just like, they're going to go get in a position and hopefully be able to burst in when necessary.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so we taking the full payload, or are we going to hold something back as a bargaining chip, or
we don't have anyone to give this to. They all already left, so we're going in hot. Stakes are high, but hey, if we end up having to blow ourselves up, we'll probably take at least one of these other things with us.
Lit the artifacts amongst us?
This factory has a garage, right?
I mean, there's a big door in the front. Yeah.
Yeah. So I say we just take the car in.
Yeah, I'm saying We expect a firefight. If it happens before we get rid of the artifacts, 3 of us goes down, the last person gets out of there.
Are they really transportable like that?
Well, we leave them in the car.
Oh.
Right?
I see.
We keep them in the car. We take the whole car in. If things go south and somebody manages to, they can hop on the car and drive away.
Understood.
Yeah.
Put it into gear and start heading towards the garage.
Yeah, you drive down the street, and the streets are like empty. Like there's no people. There are no shops open. There are no people on the streets. The place is dead, save for the loud buzzing of the giant Arbogas munitions neon sign. Even a block away, you can hear the buzzing of that neon sign. This thing's got to be like almost 3 stories tall in itself. It's taller than the building is.
I wonder if this is the thing that's blocking the thing. Like, that would be really funny if there wasn't like some sort of strange eldritch thing in place. It's just interference from this giant gaudy sign.
I mean, it probably could be. That's a good one. Yeah, so you pull up to the front of the factory, and the doors are open.
Yep. Pistol out. Go in. Like,
yeah. So you drive in, and you are on kind of like a warehouse floor, like a receiving dock would be, and there are shelves of things in boxes, all with the Arbogast logo stamped on the side of them. Some of them say Italy. Some of them are being sent to Japan. Some of them are being sent to Destination America. Some of them are sent to France and Spain. They just every destination you could think of, there's a box going there. But there are no workers on this floor. You can see up ahead. It looks like there's a drop off ahead there because there's a big old railing and there's a bunch of lights on, like illuminating a factory floor below.
Hello?
Yeah, you approach the railing, and as you look down, you can see that this was a factory floor at one point, but like the concrete floor has all been dug up, and there's been an excavation effort down below the factory. And it looks like they've gone through 100 feet of earth. And so there's stairs that are going down there, and there are work lights all lit up around this giant earthen pit. And down at the bottom is what looks to be a ceremonial dais of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you, if there was a memory check in this game, for those of you who partook in the magical drug from the Count Duke J. Michael T, you recognize this from your flashback of when the ceremony was being performed.
Right.
Down at the very bottom of the pit, on the steps leading up to the altar, are your parents, Carlos.
Okay. And
you see a German man standing there with a gun to them, and you see a couple of Noctwolf soldiers on each corner of the altar, all facing out towards you. When you say hello, hello, you've come a little bit earlier than I expected. I thought you would wait to the very last minute. Well, welcome. Come down, please. Bring the artifacts with you.
I'll get off the Jeep and be like, how about you bring the Arbogas up?
No. We are not going to do that. And he pulls out his Luger and he cocks it and points it at your mother.
Is this Dienstock?
No. I
don't think we don't know this guy. Yeah. Let's head down there.
Are you taking the artifacts with you, or are you leaving everything in the Jeep?
I assume at least we're leaving the tablet in the Jeep because
we will each grab an artifact. So Valentino has the mask. I have the dagger. Someone can grab the orb. And
how big is the orb?
It's
Like a
pretty big,
bigger
right?
than a
It's
bowling
like
ball. Yeah.
it's like a bowling ball size. I'll put on the pendant.
I could get the orb.
Okay, and then Blisco can get the book, and we'll be like, "Hey, have somebody come up here and grab this tablet."
And he kind of jerks his head in some kind of acknowledgement or silent order.
Okay.
The stairs are over there. Come.
All right.
Head down.
Yeah, so you wind down the stairs and there's this like ancient earthy smell to this pit, and it's kind of damp down here. It just feels like, when you dig up earth and you're not quite below the frost line, and so everything is just this like earthy, wet damp as you continue to go down. And once you hit the bottom of the steps, you can tell that there are like these giant tiles that have made this floor. So whatever happened in the past, this thing was buried.
Right.
And now has been uncovered. So this is probably the factory is surrounding this building or whatever that this used to be. Right. So you get down to the bottom, and sure enough, there are your parents that are there, both sitting on the steps looking at you. Your father still has his ring on. Your mother is holding the flute. And you are all standing there. I don't know if you go up to your parents or if you're still standing a distance away from this man.
Yeah, we're not going to walk up immediately.
Okay. Carlos, my boy, I'm glad you made it. And it kind of looks like your dad has a bruise on his face, and your mother too.
You guys okay?
I mean, I've seen better days. Your mother is fine. She's fine. Tell him you're fine. I'm fine.
Okay. No, go ahead.
Then kind of just out of the darkness come these 4 Noctwolf soldiers, and they are all carrying the tablet, and they walk up the steps past everybody and put the tablet on top of the altar. They give it a dust off. They look at this man, and they nod their head, and he kind of nods to them, and they all kind of stand up there on the altar as well. Did you bring this to rest?
We got him.
Show me.
How many armed Nazis are we looking at here?
So interesting that you say that, because the minute that the 4 Noctwolf get set up on the Black Sun gets set up on the altar, the 4 that are on the corners of the altar all kind of become get ready in a ready position, and then from out of the darkness comes a lot more. Like there are Black Sun soldiers coming out. And and they just surround this entire area. There's probably 50 soldiers all here. They all have what you recognize, Blisco, as lightning rifles. These are the original version before your prototype X1. A couple of them also have the percussion
symbols.
Yes. And then you hear up on like the railing, kind of walkway going over the pit, you hear like a footstep and a clump, and a footstep and a clump, and you hear and from if you all look up, you can see a woman with one missing leg, like a wooden leg, and she is wearing a veil over her face, but she's got this shock of red hair, and she's like, I didn't think you would be able to do this. Congratulations on bringing and gathering and finding all of the things. And you can tell that this is Lizelle.
Mm-hmm.
And she is slowly trying to make her way down the steps, but it's a little hard. There's no Americans
Like
with
railing.
Disability Act. Yeah, there's
Sure.
she's having trouble getting down this metal steps, with her prosthetic. But she is coming down, and she doesn't look. I mean, you can't tell what she looks like because she got a veil over her face. But you can tell she's walking in a manner of irritation and indignant triumph.
Yeah, well, after the last time we met, I figured we had to save face.
I don't find that funny at all. And she snaps her fingers, and then coming also from behind the altar on the other side of where you are, a blonde woman comes out of the shadows as well, and she's dressed in a leather knocked wolf uniform. She's got blonde hair; it's tied up tight, and she's got a cap on. And with her are 6 figures dressed in leather costumes. For the most part, they are all very gaunt, like almost skeleton-like in their appearance, and they all have these big blades on the end of their hands, and they are all silently walking into the room and starting to move around the room. Tell me, so you guys are all facing the altar. So on the steps of the altar are your parents. Next to them is a Black Sun commander. And then presumably at the bottom of the steps are the 4 of you. Going left to right, what is the order?
Dutch.
Okay.
Then I'll say Valentino next.
Okay.
Let's go.
And Doc. No.
Okay. Then Doc is on the far outside. Okay. Doc is on the far outside.
No.
Dutch is
Doc
on the
wants to
far
be in
outside.
the Doc wants to be in the middle. Put Blisco on the outside.
Okay. So Blisco's on the outside. Dutch is on the outside. Over on your side, why don't you roll me an observation plus whatever insight plus observation D2, Carlos.
Yeah, I'll spend a momentum.
Okay.
2 successes.
Hey, very good. So as these leather clad head to toe figures start to surround you, you notice, Carlos, that of the 6 of them, 5 don't appear to be breathing. But the one that is kind of like closest to you, that's positioned himself closest to you, you can see that this one is more plump than the rest. And you can tell that this one is breathing.
Okay.
And then Lizelle is like, if they have everything, we should just do the ceremony now. And the woman with the blonde hair in the back, yes, I agree completely.
Hey, let the Arbogast go. They don't need to be involved with this.
They've been involved in this since the very beginning. I don't think you understand. You do not have the cards. You are not in a position to dictate what we will or will not be doing.
We have one card.
Yeah.
No, you have no cards.
Who do you plan on doing the ritual?
Well, we are thinking you will do it.
All right. Well, then I guess you better let the Arbogast go.
No, we are not going to do that. I've already told you this.
I pull out the grenade, pull the pin, hold on to it. I might want to reconsider that. Careful. Only holding on to this with 3 fingers.
And they just all look at you like, and this is supposed to threaten us? And then you hear Lizelle kind of start laughing. Oh, God. Oh, they really are stupid. These Americans, they really think they know what they're doing. Oh, my goodness. They've not figured out that. Oh. And she kind of laughs and she walks up to you and she pulls up her veil and you just see this scarred face. It's like, imagine a human face made of wax that has gotten too warm in the sun and it is just melted down. And so like her eyes, the area under her eyes are super sunken in and she's got this big rictus grin on her face. Her nose is not even there. You think that you are the one? The one means one of the ones who are descendant of the people who are originally of the luminaries. You can blow yourself up if you want, but all we have to do is track down another luminary. We did with Mr. Riddle.
We've done it with others. We could just bring one of them in to do it. We really don't need you to do this ceremony.
How many of those you got kicking around right now?
We have a couple. We have one in Italy right now. You met them. You fought them. They can also perform the ceremony.
Well, I guess you better get them on over here then.
All right, then I guess we don't have any need for them. And the woman in the blonde hair snaps her fingers, and all of the black-clad creatures rush over to you. And one of them reaches you first, Carlos, and grabs you. It's the one that you noticed earlier. And he pulls you in close, and he puts a blade right underneath your chin. And he's like, just do the ceremony, kid. We're all going to be able to get out of here. Trust me. Critical Hit Punch All Nazis is a production of Major Spoilers Entertainment and was produced and edited by me, Steven Schleicher. If you would like to get a behind-the-scenes making of this episode, be sure to check out the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition at our Patreon page, patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Each week I discuss my plans for the upcoming game session, and Dr. Brad Will is there to share his reactions and advice on how to be a better game master. I will warn you, though, there are spoilers galore in every installment of the GM Roundtable Octoon Cthulhu Edition. So, if you don't like spoilers and don't want to know what I am planning next, don't listen to these episodes. Though, I will say, if you do listen, you'll be able to see how and where the players throw a wrench into my plans, and you're also going to have greater insight into the world that's being built into this campaign. Finally, we want you to record yourself doing your best on Critical Hit and send it to us at podcast@majorspoilers.com, and your voice will join the growing chorus of fans in upcoming episodes as well. Thank you again for listening this week, and here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2025 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.